Hi Queens, Sam here. I hope that you're doing amazing. Happy Black History Month. I hope that this month has been serving you well, that you have been having amazing time, you have been enjoying all the activities in your community in relation to the Black History Month. I'm coming to you today to talk about the importance of having your village in place when you're embarking on your journey as a single mother by choice. As you may or may not know, I'm a single mother by choice. I have three kids that I'm raising on my own. I am also someone who have reached Coast 5 in the last few years. And so on my channel here, I talk about personal finances, I talk about parenting, and I talk about lifestyle. I do coach Black women on how to increase their wealth, at least, for them to reach Coast 5. And I also do coach women in general who are considering becoming single mother by choice. And so today I want to talk about the importance of having your village in place. Congratulations, you have made the decision to start your journey as a single mother. But here's the thing, even if on paper you are the only parent for the kid or your kids, at the end of the day, in reality, you will need other people to actually help you. There is a saying in my native language to say one person cannot do much. I'm, translating here, probably a bad translation, but it's just to say that it is hard to do a lot of things on our own. We are human beings, and essentially we thrive, most of us thrive in communities. We need the support of each other to be able to get things done, and that is totally normal. I'm pretty sure you have already also heard the saying, which is essentially, if you want to go fast, go by yourself. But if you want to go far, go with other people. Of course, those other people need to be also supporting and encouraging and loving and all that and caring. But it's just also to reflect the idea of how important it is to actually being in community. And I'm also sure maybe that you have heard the word Ubuntu. And Ubuntu is essentially I am because you are, right? So it's really to say how connected we are as individuals. And when you become a single mother, I can tell you, so important to have, even if it's two, three, maybe you're lucky it's 10 people that you can really call on for to help you with various things. I'm going to give you a very recent example. There is a certification that I've been trying to do for a little while now, and it is expensive, so I didn't want to have to pay for my pocket. But it's something that's also aligned with what I'm actually doing as work right now. So I've been asking my boss to pay for that particular certification for a little while until I got the yes. But that yes came conditionally to me doing that training before a certain time, because if not, the budget will be gone. And so I didn't want to take that chance. And so I looked into it. It was an online certification, 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh my God, how am I going to make this happen? Because Saturday and Sunday, most of the time, it's me spending the time with the kids. I might have people visiting. We might be, out and about doing things. My oldest has swimming usually during the weekend. And I knew for that particular weekend of the certification, he also had a birthday party for one of his friends that I really wanted him to go to. And so I was like, how am I going to do this? And I called on my village. I called on my village members, and essentially the first one was my sister. My youngest sister, she doesn't live in the same city like me, but she comes often, literally every month or every other month, to visit. So my kids knows her very well. She's actually their godmother, and they love her. They love spending time with her. And so, but I reached out to her, and I told her, this is what I just got approved, and this is when it's happening. Would you mind coming down to look after the kids so I can focus on that certification? Because it was all day, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, from like 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And so someone needed to be looking after those kids. My kids are not old enough to be, to take care of themselves by themselves, right? So, and I asked her, I'm like, do you think you'll be able to come? And she said, let me look and let me get back to you. And a few days after, she got back to me and she said, yes, I'll be there. And I cannot tell you how relieved I was when she said that yes, because I knew right there and then that I would have been able to attend the certification. That certification not only is going to help me to essentially, have more skills and at my work and being able to achieve more at my work, but it's also giving me that possibility to become a consultant in that field. And it's a field that actually have a shortage of consultant of people, and it's in demand. We're talking about multiple hundreds of thousands that potentially you can have from that one certification, of course with the relevant experience. But being able to have the certification, I know already will open to me many doors. And so I needed to make sure that the kids will be taken care of while I could really focus on the certification. And so when my sister said yes that she was coming, I was like, thanks God, right? At the same time, my mom, she comes to visit a few months out of the year, and that also coincided with the time that she was here. So I knew that would be my sister and my mom here to look after the kids, and that was already for me a very good thing, because two people to look after the kids, they can help each other and whatnot. And something unexpected happened on top of that. I have a brother also lives in another city who decided that same weekend to come visit, right? To see my mom, to see us and everything. And so he came, and my cousin, who also lives in that same city with my brother, who's unfortunately currently looking for work, also decided to come and visit. So that weekend, I had four family members with me in the house looking after the kids. Usually it's just my kids, my kids and I. And but for that particular weekend, God did his work in a way that I was really hoping to have two people. I ended up having four people in the house with me looking after the kids. I can't tell you the level of peace that I had. Even when I was hearing, a child screaming or crying, I was like, there are four adults there, four family members with them there. They're fine. Or of course, as a mom, you're like, what's going on and all that, but they're fine. I knew they were fine, and so and for me also, it was really important that I could focus on that certification, because the last thing that I wanted was like, get all the way to Sunday and be like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't pass, or I wasn't able to do the presentation the way I was supposed to do, because I literally had like four people who took time out of their schedule to come and look after the kids. And one thing that I forgot to mention, that Friday when I went to pick up my sister at the train station, I had an issue with my car. So my car broke down, and I had to park my car at the mechanic for the entire weekend. So my family members were here not having access to my car, and the kids' car seats were in my car. And so to go to the swimming class for my oldest, to the birthday party that he had to go, my sister had to go with him, you know, taking a cab. And so the entire weekend, going out with the kids for activities, they did it taking rideshare and cars, and because my car was not available. And I was like, oh my God, what is this? And but they took it very positive. They're like, fine, we need to take a cab, no problem. Almost like an adventure also for the kids, because my oldest, for him, he was like, oh, so we're not taking mommy's car, we're taking a taxi, and all that. You just make it into a game, then the kids are fine. And but here's the thing, my car broke down, and all the way to Sunday, of course, my mechanics, they don't open in the weekend, so I knew we'll go to the Monday. But I had to take the kids to school and daycare on the Monday morning. How was I gonna be able to do? Because on the Sunday, my sister and my mom were heading to, my sister was heading back to Toronto. My mom wanted to head with her, because she wanted to stay with my sister a little bit in Toronto. And my brother was heading back as well, and my cousin was supposed to head back with my brother. But I asked my cousin, I'm like, I know you're out of work right now. Would you mind staying, a few more days until I get my car back? Because I needed to have another adult with me to take, one of the toddler to daycare, because even the taxi would not allow me to have two babies on my lap. You can only have one baby on your laps. And on top of that, taking the the taxi was was an adventure in itself, right? Because it's either we're able to get a van, like a six-seater, so we were fine, because a regular size car cannot take more than four people. And even if those kids don't have their own seat and you have them on your lap, the regulations say if you are five, you guys need to have either to get into a six-seater, or have like two cars. And so for the time we couldn't get a van as a cab, we had to literally book two taxis. So go to school with the kids in two cars and come back in two cars. It was like we did that for 2 days until I was able to get my car back, and it was such a struggle. And I was like, I need my car. I need my car. I think I called my mechanic 3 or 4 times. In those 2 days, I'm like, are you guys done? I need my car. And I know they were working on my car, but again, they were waiting for some pieces of equipment, so they could do their work. But all of that to say, please, I know we are embarking, or you are already on this journey, considering yourself a single mother, and you are a single mother. In the all sense, in terms of things, you are a single mother. However, being single doesn't mean that you have to do it alone. Those two don't go together. And I'll even say it's very important that you don't do this alone. You're going to burn out, and you're not going to be giving your best self to your kids. You're not going to be enjoying it, because honestly, motherhood is, for me, it's joy. I am under so much stress, and of course I have 3 young kids that I'm raising by myself. For the most part, it's only them and me, but time to time I get a family member who's visiting. I get a friend who's like, I'm gonna come, I'm gonna spend time with the kids for the afternoon. You take the afternoon off, you go catch up on sleep, you go do whatever you want to do, you go run errands and all that, and it's a breath of fresh air. And so I cannot be grateful enough, of course, for my family members, for my close friends, for people who I've reached out and be like, do you need help? Can I help with something? And all of those things. And of course, I have my, close knit village, and I have also my extended village, people that I can call on. And in my closing, I have my 2 babysitters. And of course, you don't want to always have to pay to have help, with the kids, because being single and raising kids on your own, it's already a lot of expenses. And of course, you need to find that margin so you can pay babysitters. But I put it in my budget. It's part of my budget each month. Not so much these days because my mom is still around, she's still helping and everything. But whenever she's gonna head back, I'm gonna find myself for the most part alone with the kids again. And so I'm gonna start, having the babysitters coming more often. And the part of my close knit, you know, uh, circle, right, or village. And I have, people that are more like in the expanded village. But very, very important to do that exercise and put it on paper. Who's part of your small circle, your small village, and who's part of the big village, and have the conversation with them. I'm not saying that you have to say everything, to everybody when you're embarking on your journey, because I did not. But at the end of the day, people who love you and really want, good for you, will accept you, and will help you based on their own availability. But very, very important, because you do not want to do this journey by yourself. You need a village, literally a village. And your village could be made of family members, it could be made of friends, co-workers, it doesn't matter. Of course, when we think about, close circle, close, a small village, automatically we think about family members. But at the end of the day, it depends on your dynamic, right? I am the oldest of a family of 5. I also have my 3 cousins here in Canada, whether it is in my city or like in another city. So in total, we are like, I consider my siblings, but we're like eight people, 8 siblings, right? So I know that, time to time I'll have some of them come to visit. Like I say, my sister, she's here every other month or every month, literally, to the point that some of her friends are asking her, why don't you just move there? And she's tried for a few times to move here, but she has her entire life also, in Toronto. But it's just to say essentially that it's so refreshing, because then you like, yes, I'm raising these kids by myself, but I'm not alone in this journey. There are people that I can call on. I know if something happens to me, I know they'll be cared for, right? And that's why also I'm very big on insurance, on estate planning, because the last thing that I want my family to, be worried about if something was to happen to me is like the financial part of things, or how things should be done. And so I will talk about this in another video, but I think for us single mothers, estate planning and having the proper insurance in place is really crucial. Is really, really crucial, because that will help whomever is taking over to care for the kids to have peace of mind and not have to worry about how am I even gonna pay for these kids' food, their activities, and all that. You don't want your kids to become a burden, financial burden to whomever is gonna help if you are not available, to help the way, or if something happens and you're not there anymore. That's reality. Things happen. We're not gonna bury our hand in the sand and pretend that everything's gonna be good forever. Things happen, but you just have to be perfect. But I'll talk about that in another video. The main thing that I really wanted to touch on here was the importance of having your village. So if you are considering single motherhood or you're already on that journey, do you have a village in place? Who is part of your village? Should you expand your village a little bit? Do you feel supported? Let me know in the comments. I will love to hear from you. And of course, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. And if you have enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, to share, to subscribe, hit the notification bell for the next time that I'm coming out with another video. And like I said, like I've promised, I'll be sharing more on the single motherhood by choice aspect of my life, because I really want to get the word out there and encourage more women to get on this journey if that's what they want, because I don't want you to prevent yourself from becoming mothers because some circumstances of your life didn't come together in the most optimal way. Somehow there is always a way to make things happen. So there you have it. Thank you so much for watching again, and until next time, keep on building wealth. Bye bye.